Flosstube, it's Jen here, not cross Jen, and it's Valentine's Day. It's Sunday the 14th of February in 2021. It's my first Flosstube in the new year. Or is it actually? No, I think I filmed my whip parade on the 1st actually, on New Year's Day, so ignore that, that's a lie. First proper Flosstube actually though, let's say that, first proper Flosstube. This is Flosstube number 12. So I last filmed a Flosstube update on the 17th of December, so it's been nearly 2 months since you've had a proper Flosstube update from me. And I've got tons and tons of stuff to show you, and I think the main reason I've been reluctant to film again is because it takes me an absolute age to upload things to upload my videos to YouTube. And the problem is the storage on my iPhone is that I don't have enough space because I have the video file, which I'm recording now, then I import it into iMovie and do my editing, and then I have to be able to save what comes back out of iMovie onto my camera roll as well before I can upload to YouTube. And that's what is causing me the issues that then I need space on my phone for these two massive video files alongside each other. So if anyone knows how I can fix that, I'd be glad to hear. I did try uploading, I think I tried like deleting the original file and uploading it to the cloud, but then in order for the iMovie thing to work, it needs to download it back again from the cloud anyway, so that didn't really help. Sorry if I keep looking outside, Nino's on the garden outside. Just generally being cute, goofing around, and then Bubbles is in here in the kitchen with me looking at him outside the window. He's about to come back in the cat flap, I think, so you'll hear that in a minute. Okay. I should say welcome to new viewers, and welcome back to existing viewers. Here's Bubbles, here's Nino, oh my goodness. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There you go, Bubbles. There's a chessboard on the table that they've just knocked a load of pieces off onto the floor. Now they're going to run around on the floor. I mean, this is good, isn't it? It's all good. Okay, right. So I'm going to skip over life update because there's really nothing to say. And on the subject of the storage issues, I'm going to try to do a bit less editing, so less inserts of pictures and things, and just see if that helps the file size at all and helps me to be able to upload quicker. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to launch straight in with Q&A. And what I've done is I've just looked back on the whip parade video actually for questions. So there might have been some from the Flosstube before, but I'm conscious I've already got loads to show you this time. So for now I'm just going to do those questions, and then as usual, if you've got any questions that you'd like me to cover next time, then comment them in the comments of this video and I'll be happy to share. This is Rob's tummy. Oh guys, I hope no one's offended by this. This is a photo mug. This is our friend Scott, and this is Rob, not cross Bob, not cross Rob. And it's the same picture twice on each side of the mug. I can't not comment on this really, can I? So I believe what happened here was Rob bought this as a gift for Scott whilst we were at university. And then on the last day of uni, because we lived in the same house together, Scott kind of cleared and packed all his stuff out first and probably moved out a day or two before Rob and I did. And he had elected not to take this mug with him. I'm pretty sure this is the truth. I'm pretty sure that's the story, yes. So Rob was devastated when he went in the kitchen cupboard at the uni house and realised that this was still there, so it's come into our mug usage now. I didn't even think. Well, Rob made me my first cup of tea in this morning, so that's why I'm using this one. Normally I give Rob the photo mugs. I have like my favourite mugs, but he doesn't know that, he just gives me whatever. He's a bloke. Right. All that to say that this is Q&A. So I had a question from Tara, who is a new viewer, I think, and Tara's asked me how I came up with my channel name. So that's Not Cross Jen. And I was trying to think about this, and I don't think there's any profound answer to that question. So I knew I wanted cross in the name because my channel was going to be about cross stitching. And I think I wanted Jen because I wanted my name in there. So once I figured out I wanted cross and Jen, I think it just felt natural that I'm not cross. I'm a very happy, excitable, pleasant person. So I thought about being not cross. And then it also bizarrely makes me think about hot cross buns. So that's it really. That's why cross for cross stitch, Jen because I'm Jen, and then I'm not actually cross. I'm quite a happy individual. So that's why, Tara, and I'll be intrigued to hear what your guess was as well. So you said you had an idea of why that might have been my name, but you wanted to hear my side. So yeah, I'm intrigued to know what you think my brain was doing coming up with that. I've got a question from Nicola, obviously, which is, do I always have a travel kit packed and ready to go, cross-stitching wise? And that's because I'm pretty excellent on ABC, which is always bring cross-stitch. So if I'm going anywhere where there's a potential that I will be waiting and needing to kill time, then I always do take a little cross-stitch project. So I don't exactly have something like by the front door at all times, but I just know which projects are ones that are full kits ready to go. So my Dimensions birth sampler that I'm doing, that's a full kit. It's got like a little pair of scissors in there and like spare needles and needle minder and stuff, all kind of in one like, you know, plastic envelope folder thing ready to go. So that's the one that I usually take places with me. So yeah, I guess I do. And then if I've been working on a different kit or whatever that I know is easy to grab, then that's what I'll grab. But I usually do be really mindful of it. And I hate being waiting somewhere and everybody is just scrolling through their phones, being just really like mindless when I think I could be stitching and like achieving something here. So that's definitely what I prefer. I was gonna say something else then. No, gone. Okay, somebody called Caroline has asked me to explain whip go, and given that you've asked me that at the start of January and we're now 6 weeks later, I think, because you asked me that question on my whip parade, I'm hoping that you might have found an answer from elsewhere by now. But in case you haven't, and for anyone else that's interested, Whip Go is a invention by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, who's a Flosstuber, and she's on Instagram. On Instagram, she's Jessie Does Stuff, I think. Or she might be Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Basically, she's one of my favouriteest Flosstubers, but she doesn't film super frequently, but when she does, they're like mammoth videos, and they're really amazing. And I love everything that she stitches. So she came up with this concept of Whip Go, and it's like bingo, but with your whips. So what you do is create a board. This is my very technical digital Whip Go board. And essentially you just fill the 5x5 board with stitchy goals to help you to make progress on your whips. So what you could do is put a different whip in each box. I've got a few different things then. It's absolutely whatever you want to make it. So my goals, I've got like page finish on some of my full coverages. I've got some projects where I want to stitch 5 days, and then I've made myself like 5 little boxes there. So what's that? Partridge, 5 days, partridge in a pear tree, 5 days, 5 little boxes, so I can like tick off when I've done each of the 5. What else is on there? I've got a couple of projects I want to finish completely. Emily's House, Dobby, and the Haunting Night one. And then what happens is each month Jessie Marie does a random number generator and calls 2 squares. And then when she calls the square, my method is just to highlight it in yellow. And then when I've completed the goal, my method is to like cross hatch it out. Is that hatching? I don't know what that is, but like, you know, cross it out almost to say I've done that goal now. So like I've got one here that I've finished the goal, but it hasn't actually been called yet, that number. So the idea is that you try to get a clean sweep of goals that have, where the number has been called, the number of the box has been called, and you've finished the stitching goal. So that's Whip Go. There's a Facebook page, Whip Go 2021, which is where the event kind of happens. And then she is doing Whip Go weekends as well this year, but I'm not going to go into that because I'm already at 9 minutes and I haven't shown you a single bit of stitching yet. Nicola, no, I've answered Nicola's. Pipe down, Nicola. You always just want your name like mentioned on these videos as many times as possible, I think. So that's Tara, Nicola, Caroline. So thank you very much for your questions. I've just realised I was meant to bring down my frame in to show you all, but what I'm going to do is scribble notes at the bottom of here for next Flosstube. And I will definitely show everybody my 2 framed pieces again, which is Raven Queen and Spangled, because loads of you asked questions about what happened when the grumpy framing man needed to fix the framing for me. And the answer is it's not perfect, but they're a lot better, so I will definitely show you next time. Okie doke. Let's go into finishes. So I've got 2 finishes. I'm really sorry, I'm quite hiccupy. Maybe if I swallow tea down on top of my hiccups, that will help. Okay, finishes. I've got 2 to show you, both of which are just full coverage page finishes, which I kind of consider as finishes. And the most exciting one is for All Cats Go to Heaven it's artwork by Jim Warren, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. So what I'm going to do is try and show you it this way. Yeah, look. Oh, it's a bit glary. I'm going to put it on a jaunty angle. Basically, you've seen it all before, pretty much. And I guess for anyone new, if you go back to the last video, which is my whip parade, then you'll get to see full images. I'm just testing basically to see if this makes the upload super easier, which I hope it does. So yeah, that's the full artwork. And look at this. So the whole top row is done. You've got a bit of a glary light thing going on at the top as well, haven't you? Oh dear, sorry guys. It's a really dark day, so I've just got both kitchen lights on. But yeah, and then the page I was working on was this bottom one, so I think that's page 8. Yeah, that's page 8, look, the first one on the second row of pages. And my percentage complete on this is like a quarter done, I think, now. Which is amazing. In fact, it's more. I think it's like 28% because I was talking to Kim about it. So yeah, this is the little page that I've finished in January with this cute little kitty. And then I've stitched, you'll see I've stitched an absolute shed load of 3042 there. And that's because I got my page finish and I am in the Fairies clan in a stitching game also on Facebook called Myth and Magic Stitch Wars. And we were still in the game and needed to get some high stitch counts quickly. So I switched to the HJ method of stitching for Myth, which, bless her, she always does whenever we're in a round and we're trying to stitch as fast as we can. She goes on to her full coverages and stitches up a complete storm, but she'll only do the one colour, so she'll go across like 3-4 pages potentially just on one same boring colour. So that's what I've done there. Look, it's just a whole load of 3042. And I will be honest, it was quite fun to see the stitches, like to count them up a lot quicker, but I think it's going to annoy me stitching back through them now, filling in all the gaps. But it means I've got a good chunk of that page 9 already done. So that's amazing. So that's that one. And then my other page finish, it's another full coverage, and I just got this page finished a couple of days ago, and this is Freebie Maui Princess, which is another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. The artwork is by Hannah Lynn, who also goes by Hannah Disney. I'm just trying to load it up on here. Basically, I just used this tablet for Pattern Keeper, so it's really not very fancy or clever or quick at anything. But I'll see if that will load up a picture of the full thing. And yeah, it's called Freebie Maui Princess because it was available for free on Heaven and Earth Designs for a little while. I think when I first discovered them, it was one of their freebie charts, and it just really appealed to me because it's lovely bright colours. Oh, I wish this would load on. Try a different one. This tea is delicious, by the way. You know, just sometimes you get a really good cup of tea. Doesn't want to load. Why? Why won't you load? Oh, better doing it that way. Okay, I think what I was trying to do there was load the Pattern Keeper files, which maybe it doesn't want to show you. Here you go. Here she is. So this is the full design. So she's a mermaid with red hair. She's got a really cool parrot guy down there. I'm really sorry about the glare, but this is cool. This is much better than inserting the before, I hope. Right, move my tea out of the way. And then I've taken out the Q-snap. I'm literally working on this like this last few days. I've been working on it for the last 8 or 9 days or so. So this is where I'm at so far, and this is the whole size of the piece. So you'll see once I get over here, I'll be on that top right corner. But for this one, I started stitching it way before Pattern Keeper, so I was stitching it kind of higgledy-piggledy really. And I'm now trying to get myself tidied up. So the page that I finished was this page, which is page 7. So it's the first page in the second row of pages. And then so page 1 is done, page 2 is done. I've just finished page 7 in the last few days. Oh, jeepers. Here's Bubbles. Just finished that page 7, and then page 8 I'd already done a fair chunk as well. So like page 8 starts up here somewhere maybe, but that's what I'm working on now, because I'm conscious that I should stitch stuff with red hair in it, because so many of the pages are going to have red hair because that's the bulk of the design. So when I was getting fed up with the blue up here, I was like, well, actually, yeah, this is silly to be stitching all the blue now, because I'm going to get the blue done and then I'm going to have a whole host of red. So yeah. And then also this page 3, look, I've got a good, you know, a good few thousand of this page 3 stitched up as well. Do you mind? What are you doing? You want to see the people? You want to see the people? Yeah, she's a bit wet. It's obviously started raining outside. Are you for real, puppy? Bubbles! Oh my days. Oh, she's biting me. Why are you biting me? Get your bum out of bloody YouTube. Get your bottom out of YouTube, please. This is adorable. Oh my days. Oh my actual. So she does this usually when I'm sat at my desk on my laptop working. Don't bite me. She doesn't want to bite. She doesn't want to bite. She's a good girl. I'm glad she's put her bum out off of YouTube now though. Good girl, Bubbly. Okay, brilliant. So yeah, Freebie Merry Princess. And I'm absolutely loving it because I just love the bold colours. I think bold colours is a bit more me than the pastel-y colours of All Cats Go to Heaven. This is ridiculous. I can't do a lot with this cat here. What are you doing? Hey? Crazy. Crazy girl. Right. That is finishes. So I'm moving on to new starts. She shouldn't stay too long now. That's the sound of Rob flushing the loo, if you can hear that. All right, Bubbles. 2 new starts to show you. She's biting me, stop it. I think it's because it's my bra. That's really hurt. Oh, I think it's because she can feel my bra through the top. Bubbles, she's never bitten me. Ever, ever, ever. Okay, we're cool. We're fine. Right. First new start is called Gingerbread Trio by Tom A. Lily, A being E-T like French, because the ladies' children are called Tom and Lily. And this is it. So I'm not showing you the picture of the full thing because you can get the picture here. So it's got these, it's got cute red and brown hearts that are charted to go all the way around the edge. And then there's these 2 gingerbread men, and there's a third one. I think that already is the darkest brown, so there's a third one to come underneath. And this is opalescent 28 count even weave, which you can't really pick up on the picture. But yeah, I started this towards the end of December, and I hope to kind of like stitch it all in one go, but it's actually deceptively a large number of stitches. So I ended up putting it away, but it'll be a quick finish when I get back to it. And I was debating whether I really can be bothered to go all the way around the edge with these hearts, because there's going to be a lot of them. So part of me thinks maybe I'll stitch the third guy, match the top border that I've got there underneath, and see if I think I can do without joining the hearts down the sides. But we'll see. The floss for this is called Atelier. It's hand dyed by Melanie, the lady from Tom and Lily. So it's really pretty. It's really nice to stitch with. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that project. I just really thought it was going to be super, super fast, bash through it, and then it's taken me a lot longer. And then I realised I wasn't enjoying it. I posted it on my Instagram and was like, could I just call this finished at this point? And it doesn't look finished. Like, no, it's not finished. So I put it away until I'm excited about stitching it again, basically. Because it's a shame otherwise to not be keen. The other new start is, oh my Christ. Sorry, I'm nervous about this bloody cat now. My back really hurts where she's bit me. Right, she's being cute now. She's on my lap like a normal animal. You can see her tail. You are a bad cat. Do you know what's really terrible though is the fact that I haven't been wearing a bra very much, so that's possibly... See, I've put a bra on for you guys on YouTube, but I've barely been wearing one at all in this this ridiculous pandemic lockdown time. Please don't bite anything. Oh, I don't want you to bite me, Bubbles. Can you not? Yeah, so I wonder if that's it, because she goes on my shoulder all the time, but she's probably not used to like feeling something underneath my top. Which just shows how kind of slovenly I am. You're a horrible cat, aren't you? Who knew? Who knew? Right. Come on. This is not going to get the floss tubing done, is it? No, go on. Come on, be on your way. Oh, she's cute. No, she wants to bite me. She wants to bite my hair. Right, get down. No, that's enough. Go on, be on your way. Bye. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Maybe that's the other thing, like she wants to bite my hair. Right, can you stop it? Okay, so this one to show you, I don't have a starting picture. It's not going to be on my pattern keeper because I'm not using pattern keeper. That is actually the back end of Bubbles, sorry. Come on. Good, right. Go on your way. So this is Deck the Halls by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And I'm stitching it on 32 count even weave by KLT Charting in Silver Moon. So you can see it's just a lovely silvery grey, hand-dyed, lovely, lovely. And I started in the centre, so this is going to say, this is Snowmen for Build Snowmen. And then that's the start of for Mistletoe Kiss, I think. And then Wrap is going to be for Wrap Presents, I'm assuming. So yeah, it's a really cool chart that I'm stitching along with my sister-in-law, which we started together on Christmas Day, actually. Which is a really happy memory because we had a nice Christmas day with some of the family, which was like the only day in months that we've been able to spend time with them inside together. So yeah, that brings back really happy memories. Okay. That's finishes and new starts. I'm going completely out of order here. Stitchy Kindness is, well, it's really Christmas gifts, but I did also find my birthday gift from my inner circle local stitching friends that I wanted to show you. So this is Bella Filipina, Bellatrix, who is just absolutely stunning. And someone, I think Liz, commented when this was released on Facebook and it came up, Liz had like tagged me and she'd commented on this and said, wouldn't this go amazing with your Raven Queen? Because it's like a beautiful, tall, slender lady. And I think it's because there's a border outline as well. So it really would be a lovely companion piece. So I've ordered fabric from Pole Stitches for this. And I'm really excited to get that kitted up and stitched. Not actually sure when I'll start that, but anyways. Then I got Christmas presents from Nicola, my local stitchy friend. So we exchange birthday and Christmas gifts with each other. We both have birthdays at the start of December. So I wanted to show you what she got me at Christmas. So the first thing is this beautiful scissor fob with clocks on the end because I really love clocks. So I think in one of my floss tubes I mentioned really liking a Rio-less kit with clocks. So Nicola kind of made a note of that and bought me this, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so unique, isn't it? Clocks are cool. Clocks are really cool. So that was from Nick. Then, speaking of that clock Rio-less kit, she bought me the kit. So it's got a grandfather clock and a cat on it, and it's just lovely. So this is my first Rio-less kit, and Nick and I have agreed to start together during May when we do a bit of a PJ mania to remember my cat PJ, who was run over sadly a couple of years ago. So we stitched something cat related in May. And then on the back of this, well, it's just showing you other charts you can buy, but you can see how the thread is organised. And I'm really keen to stitch with it because Nick says it's like a totally different feel of thread. It feels quite fluffy and soft. So yeah, looking forward to that. Nick also got me this amazing Emma Congdon book, Cross Stitch for the Soul, which I've had my eye on for a good long while now. And I already know the first one I want to stitch from this, which is this one. when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. So yeah, that's definitely the first one that I'd like to do out of this book. So again, hopefully start that soonish. But obviously, who really knows? Who really knows? Because I have a lot of stitching goals. And then the other one I wanted to show quickly is a really cute kit from RTO, which was bought for me by my friend Matthew, actually, whose mum watches me, I think. So hello, if you're watching. Matthew says he set up their telly so that she could see me on YouTube. So when I think I haven't, when she goes on the YouTube app on the telly, it'll tell her when I've got a new video and she can watch me. And then in amongst that is all the other stuff that she and her husband like to watch. So videos about trains and American football and stuff. And then there's just my face pops up, which cracks me up. But yeah, so really cute, really sweet kit there, with the thread all organised in the back and the fabric there. Quite a small count of fabric that looks like, actually, although it says it's 14 count. So actually maybe it is 14 count. But yeah, that'd be a quick stitch. Again, as and when I can just get around to some new starts. Okay. Haul, I'm not even going to go there. I was going to show you some knitting stuff, but I'll put that on the list for next time, actually, because I haven't done any more knitting since Christmas time. Let's do whips, because I've got quite a few to show you. So the first one, let me see if, I'm not going to have a mock-up to show you, I don't think, on here. Oh yeah. Oh no, that's only the part one, that's no good. Oh, well, I can show you this and you can see the kind of outline. So this was the part one release, and it's Dark Queen of the Seas Sal by Autumn Lane Stitchery. So the first part was these three really cool rhubarb and custard coloured little fish. And then you can kind of see the outline in the background, which is this whole lady that we're stitching. What I was hoping to have to show you was a more recent mock-up, because I'm only on part 3 actually. So here's where I'm at. It's a bit see-through, isn't it? So this is where I am. So there's, yeah, you can see these fishies, and then there's a whole host of her dress. This morning I just kind of finished the other part of her, what do you want to say? It's not a brassiere, is it? Because it's the top of the dress, but it is a funny shape. But anyway, I finished the top of this pink stuff earlier today, and I'm very nearly done on this kind of upturned hand. It's kind of like this. So I've just got one more colour to do up there. But there's loads of fractionals in the arms and the hands, which really annoys me. Well, it doesn't annoy me, but it just makes for slower stitching. And then to finish off this third part that I'm doing, I need to do the whole arm that comes down here as well. So they're big stitch counts in each piece, and then there's way more release now. So there's her whole face, hair, there's a load of coral and seaweed next to her, and then there's a part with magic-y, inky, splattery something going all around the top of her in a bit of a loop. So yeah, I really, really, really want to get more done on that. And it's funny because it was called on my Whipco board to finish one part in January, which I did. That was part 2, which I think was the bottom of the dress up to about halfway. And then this part 3 is the whole top of the chest and the 2 arms. And that would be part 3 done, which was, a second part was called for February, Whipco. So it's called it twice in a row, but I don't think it comes up on my board again then. But I really want to catch up, because Nadine from Nad's X Stitch is on a mad one trying to catch up as well. And lots of the girls that I'm stitching this in a bit of a messenger, a Facebook Messenger group, they're also catching up to kind of nearly complete now, so they're well ahead of me. So I want to catch up with that. Oh, and the fabric, this is my first Under the Seas fabric by Leslie over in America, and it's the called for, it's called Bewitched, and it's a 32 count linen, and it is absolutely beautiful, blues and purples. I do love it. And from Pole Stitches, actually, I've ordered her kind of sort of equivalent blue and purple to come along with the Bellatrix fabric, which is exciting. Which I saw from Joe Stitchy Pixels, stitching something on there. So hello, Joe. Okay. Another project I stitched loads and loads and loads on in January was Beauty and the Beast by Aurora CS. Yeah, this is good. Look, yeah, basically if I open the original file and not the Pattern Keeper updates, here we go. So this is what it's going to look like. So it's kind of a stained glass, long, thin piece. And last time you saw it, I was like right up at the top. I'd sort of, I think, just done the very start of the red rose. And yeah, I stitched blinking loads of this for Myth and Magic Stitch Wars in January. So here's where I'm at. And this is stitched on 20 count Ada using just one strand of DMC, so it's quite dainty, stitches up really fast. I flipping love it. You can tell I've got a taste for this sort of stuff, can't you? Where it's like outline in black and then stitch the colours, a bit like my Maui Princess. I just find it really fun stitching. So I've done this big chunk of the beast, look, kind of bending over there. There he's going to be. Pretty cool. So I think that's one of the goals that I crossed off my Whip Go board because I needed to add 10%. Yeah, I needed to add 10%. So although that goal wasn't called yet, I just really fancy stitching on it in January. And I absolutely love it. So yeah, looking forward to getting back to that one soon. Then, oh, I did have another new start actually. This should have been in new starts. This was Halloween Cove by the Bay Needle Arts, which I started with Nick on the 31st of January because for Christmas I bought her Boo Boulevard, which was an Etsy chart, which is really cool and colourful. It's like a whole street or a whole row of buildings on a street that are kind of spooky themed. So I bought that for Nick, and then she bought this for me for Christmas or birthday as well. So we both had these Halloween starts. So I figured that the 31st of January was just 10 off being the 31st of October, which is Halloween. That was my logic. So we started that, and I'm a third done already. And look, I'm stitching it right on the corner of this fabric, so I'm going to have tons left. So this fabric is amazing. It's called Sea Mist. It's 32 count linen by KLT Charting, and you're getting like pinky there somehow, aren't you? It's really not pinky. It's like pale green and a bit of grey and a bit of blue. Just really subtle, really beautiful. And then yeah, this is my stitching. So I'm using the Call for DMC, stitching 2 over 2. And yeah, I've done absolutely loads. I can hold this up to show you again. So I've got that whole like first branch with the 3 pumpkins. I'm trying to angle it so you don't get so much glare. But yeah, I would say I'm about a third done because there's quite a lot of dense stitching in the bottom, look, where the ground and the buildings are. But yeah, I think another couple of times pulling that out and that'll be a finish as well. So I should really aim to have that done for this Halloween. Okay, another whip I wanted to show you. This was called in January's Whip Go. Hold on a minute though, because I do want to drink my tea. So when I'm not doing dividers between things, I'm not drinking my tea as much. Okay, so this next whip was called on Whip Go, and it's to finish it. It's Scenic Lighthouse. It's a gold collections dimensions. I want to say, is it petite? Yeah, it's meant to be a petite, but it's got lots and lots of stitches actually for a petite. So that's the mock-up. And if I move the needle minder out of the way a bit, here is where I am. So I've done lots, really. I have done lots, and I was adding kind of more detailing in the house, like more little bits of the coppery colour and like some of the blues and the greys as well, which does give it some really nice dimension. Here we go. But as you can see, I've got like quite dense stitching. All that foreground is all still to do. So yeah, a long way to go really on that. I just like it never totally calls to me, but I'm glad it came up early in Whip Go, because now if I do just need a quick project to get on with, I do try to do a little bit in this. I robbed the other clamp from this, the other side of this key snap. I needed to use it on a different project because my clamps had started getting really loose. And actually this is a top tip that you might be interested in. So I had seen loads of advice, loads of like threads about this on Facebook Stitchy groups, people saying how can you retighten your Q-snap clamps when they start to get loose from being pulled on and off so much. And I'd seen something about running them through the dishwasher, And we've got a dishwasher. I love my dishwasher. So I did ask some of my friends, like, has anyone actually done it, put the clamps through the dishwasher? And no one had, so I didn't want to risk it. So what I did was I used a big oven tray, just a big glass oven tray, and I poured boiling water and I put the clamps, like, just rested them kind of flat in the bottom of that. And actually it really has worked, like it really has made a difference. So I just added the boiling water whilst the clamps were there and then left it cool, and that's all I did. I didn't, like, there's something about wrapping them in elastic bands, like to bind them together so that they're not going to like split open with the heat or anything, but I didn't do any of that. I just poured the boiling water, left it to cool until it was cool enough to lift them out, and that was it. Easy. Easy peasy peasy. Right, and then one more whip to show you, which was called for February Whip Go, and I stitched on it a fair bit yesterday. I added 600 stitches yesterday. Here we go. Oh no, you can't see that so good. Oh, there you go. So this is Game of Swans by Long Dog Samplers. So it's a really cool design with lots of swans, as you can see, and some other cute little animals and flower motifs and things. So I'm showing you that, but actually mine looks crazy, crazy different because I'm stitching mine on a green hand-dyed fabric by KLT Charting called Mistletoe Wreath. It's a 28 count even weave. And it's a little bit see-through, isn't it? Try and keep tilting it so it's not too bad. But you can see like the beautiful colours, so it's got kind of like greens and then creamy and yellow colours in it. And then I'm using Gentle Arts threads, which Sarah from Marnie's Mixed Bag picked out for me in like pinks and yellows and like whitey creamy colours for these swans. So these swans is what I was mostly working on yesterday. So yeah, and I think along here is pretty much the top right corner of the whole design, and you can nearly see the top left there. I couldn't be bothered to take it all out of the Q-snap for you, because I hope to make some more progress on this week. So the Whip Go goal for the whole of February is to add another 10% to the completed amount, which works out at about 2,000 stitches. And I managed 600 really quickly yesterday, and I then nearly did 600 also on top on Maui Princess. So it was a big stitchy day yesterday, nearly 1,200 stitches, but it was Saturday. I didn't do much else, and Rob was doing DIY all day, like banging around upstairs, fitting new floors. So yeah, that's that. That actually shows up really nice in the light from here. Actually, that came up really good. Right, I normally talk to you about plans as well, so just briefly, I need to work on my Whip Go remaining projects. So for February, I need to finish that other part of Dark Queen of the Sea and finish my 2,000 stitches on Game of Swans. I do still have the Lighthouse to finish, which I won't finish this month, but I might keep trying to add into that. But the main thing on my mind at the moment for Stitchy goals is actually full coverage. So I'm really loving working on my full coverages, and Kim from KLT Charting was also like working on some goals and some spreadsheets and like working out the maths of like how much she stitches, and if she could average like 300 stitches a day, then she'll finish her massive Spangler Haid by like whatever time in 2023 or something, and then she's kind of like chipping that down. And when she was talking to me about that, I'm just a complete copycat. So as soon as Kim was talking about like stitchy goals for full coverages, I was like, oh cool, yeah, okay, I'm gonna have a goal. And I decided my goal would be to stitch 75,000 stitches on full coverage projects this year of 2021, which seems reasonably achievable. So I'd have to average 6,250, I think, each month. And in January, I already did like 8,000 on All Cats Go to Heaven. Although I've actually realised that Beauty and the Beast is full coverage as well, and I probably did a good like 5,000 on that as well if I add that in. So I'm already well ahead of that target. But then a few of the other guys in our group chat were thinking that they'd like to join in too. So we've set up a separate group chat called Full Coverage Wenches, which was Kim's idea. And we've decided to try a group target for each month. So for February, we're working to 75,000 between our group for the month. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And we are very nearly going to make it, I think. So the 14th is today, we're halfway through the month, and I think we're on like 47% of the way to the 75k target. So we should make it, I think we'll make it. But that is inspiring me like just to want to work on full coverage. And then last night, I did a thing where I was like, well, Kim's got this thing where she knows what date she'll finish, and then if she can do more stitches, she can bring forward the date. Then I was thinking, how hard would it be to finish my Freebie Maui Princess, which is like 13% done at the moment. But this fabric is not that humongous, so this doesn't look like it's going to take a crazy amount of time. So I had a look at how many stitches I've got left to go, which is... it's like 185,000 stitches maybe left in the whole piece. And then I divided that by the remaining, it was last night, Google told me that there was 322 days left in the year, which gave me a stitching target of something like 560 stitches a day. And I could finish this thing, which is totally achievable, I think, but that would be at the cost of all of my other projects. So I don't think I'm going to do that, but part of me is like, well, I could get this thing to like 3/4 done or 80% done if I really focused on her this year. So we'll see, because I also wanted to finish the Kitty Heaven as my first Haid finish, but this was actually the first one that I started. So in terms of finishing in order of what was started first, I really ought to try and finish this one first. And this, if I can finish some of those other smaller old whips, then this will be the only whip I've got left from, where's my whip list? I want to say 2017. Where's my, can't even find my way around my own Stitchy planner. Monthly, here we go, whips. Yeah, so all I've got is Dobby from like 2012, and then Maui Princess is my only whip from 2018. And then everything else was started in 2019. So if this year I could finish Dobby, I'll only have this from 2018, and then I could finish it this year if I wanted to. But this is the story of my life. Every time I'm stitching something that I'm getting really into, I'm like, oh, if I just finish, it would only take me like this long to finish it, why don't I just finish it? But then I will want to stitch other stuff as well. So yes, right. Stop rambling, Jen. That has been enough. I am back. I'm hoping to come back a bit more frequently, and then things will be a bit shorter and I could go back to editing. Thank you so much again if you've watched me and stuck with me. And yeah, my cheesy sign off is keep stitching.